So NJ is on his way to my house, and I'm going to introduce this Q&A. Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Q&A. Q&A 171 with us, the... What are you doing here? I haven't seen you in a while.
I've got a message for these worthless mortals. You better subscribe to the British Fish channel, and please continue to send your questions, or believe me, worthless mortals, there will be hell to pay.
What the fuck? What the hell happened there, NJ?
Well, by now, if the people that are viewing our channel haven't worked it out by now, they're idiots. I'm sorry, YouTube.
Just one minute, okay. 1 minute I'm being scared by Terminator NJ. Next minute you appear there. Like, what is going on here? Are we in an episode of hacking Harry Potter or something?
I think it could be, but you work out, YouTubers.
Anyway, enough that. It's time for another Q&A with us, the British Fist.
Gotcha.
I am Mr. Parkin. This guy sitting next to me is NJ, people. And we are very pleased to announce Q&A 171 is up and running. And if you have any questions, please put them down in that comment section below. That is generally where we take our questions from. So the comment section below is the best place to put them.
Please make sure you contact us. Please, in the links in the description box below.
Let's go straight into this Q&A then. Let's answer as many questions as we can in under 20 minutes or near 20 minutes. Jenna Rose, do you think the Miz's new heel gimmick is WWE's response to John Morrison's acting career? No. Why would they pay any attention to John Morrison, who has really no relevance on the WWE product at all right now?
It'd be quite childish if they're starting to look at ex-wrestlers that have been employed with the WWE and start picking at them. Do it to TNA, don't to your ex-wrestlers, no.
I think, I mean, Miz has just been in a movie, so they're trying to sort of, because he wasn't working as a face, they thought they'd bring him back as a movie star heel. Yeah, I know, it's a good one, Andrew, I didn't even mean to. See, I'm funny and I don't even fucking realise it. That's the great pleasure of being British in an American-based community. But no, I don't think this has anything to do with John Morrison's acting career. I think it's just a new direction, which was much needed for Miz, as he wasn't working out as a face.
But the thing about The Miz is, forget about Morrison. Yes, I've had my wishes he would come back, but The Miz... This is about The Miz trying to test something new like they did with Wade Barrett. This is giving Miz a new persona, new character to try and rebuild him back into the WWE.
MDDM, I want to slam that Roman Reigns question. Are you serious? That was in a couple of Q&As ago. They build a new guy to slowly go past Cena. People moan already. Get real. I mean, it's true. I mean... You've been given a new guy, you moan about the same old shit with John Cena, you get given a new guy and people have started booing him already. I just don't get it. I don't understand.
Okay, I'm going to give my two sides of this. Yes, we all want someone to finally pass John Cena. But the way to do it, I'm glad it's changed recently, because this question's old. But with Roman Reigns get all like, oh, he's unstoppable. He can beat multiple wrestlers at a time. He can be almost super big guy. We're going to complain because he's getting booked too quickly, too fast to be this overly powerful guy when it's not bad to lose matches once in a while.
Yeah, especially this early. I mean, if he'd been pushed for a year or two, then yeah. But it's only really just been started being pushed like a couple of months ago. So to already get on that sort of bandwagon about that, in my opinion, is a bit silly. But we just got to see how this goes. How will fans react at WrestleMania when he potentially wins the belt? Who really knows? Also, I've seen a lot of people say they want to shove all the black guys together and make a new nation. Is there any point? I get they don't have anything going for them right now, but shoving all the black guys together like that seems rather ignorant and they won't exactly go anywhere with it. What do you think? As soon as I saw the new nation or whatever they were going to call it, I was just like, meh. I didn't care. I just saw 3 irrelevant guys in a faction and I was just like, meh.
As much as making a new mid-card faction could have been beneficial, I think when they've got no reason to be together, no other faction to face, to form a mid-card faction didn't have much relevance. And pointing out the black thing, yes, the ones they were bringing into that faction really weren't doing anything, but still, I don't think there's any point actually going forward with it.
And there's only limited amount of people they could actually feud with, so what would really be the point? I mean, they could feud with Rusev. I don't know, I'm just saying, it's just, to me, it's just meh. Tim Crace, do you think Bray Wyatt should become United States champion? It would It'll be a little bit of a step down for Bray Wyatt, but apparently they're going to be putting him in a feud with Dolph Ziggler for the IC Championship after Night of Champions. So, is it a step down for Bray Wyatt? Yes. Would giving him a mid-card belt, help him a little bit, I suppose. But at least with them, we'll get an IC champion that will be booked right and will be in storylines and have segments and interesting segments and bring interest to the IC belt, possibly. I don't know.
If we're going with the United States Championship, I'm really wishing the WWE would put their minds together to make a exciting story to combine both championships. As it for being Bray Wyatt to possibly go to Sheamus or whatever's going to go on, I think it's a real shame. But like I've said in previous Raw reviews, the WWE don't really have a direction for Bray Wyatt, so whatever match or feud they can get him in, at least it's getting on TV, but that's not the point of the Bray Wyatt character. He should have a meaning behind what he's doing.
Anything goes, show with another Bray Wyatt related question. How would you guys book Bray Wyatt back to a monster main event heel? Well, I would have started off with the John Cena feud. He wouldn't necessarily have had to have won the John Cena feud, but I would at least have given him a clean pinfall victory with no bullshit. At least that would go to show you that he can beat the top guy in the company with no help, 100% fucking clean. He wouldn't need shenanigans. That would have gone a little bit of a way to make him a monster heel at some point down the line, but that would have helped. And then you have him go on and maybe be the winning captain of his Survivor Series team and have him win at, SummerSlam against... did he win against SummerSlam against Jericho? He did, didn't he? So you give him big 4 pay-per-view victories against, veterans like Chris Jericho and try and build interest in the character, because right now I don't hear anyone talking about Bray Wyatt as compared to a year ago. Have WWE just dropped the ball with this character now? Is it getting repetitive? Is it getting stale? I don't know. They've got to do something to reinvigorate interest in it.
Well, sadly, to put Bray Wyatt forward, I'm quite close to thinking there's limited hope for this now, because who can Bray Wyatt go against that could put him over? He's faced the likes of big names already that are top faces, so who's he left with that's going to give him that push? The only way he can bring the monster back is if he starts attacking people with a hidden message or even no meaning, just to make him psychotic or crazy again.
Or turn babyface so he can feud with some other people, I guess, because he's already feuded with Daniel Bryan, John Cena, Chris Jericho, and CM Punk last year. So he's already feuded with all the top babyfaces, and he's still not really getting on as much as I really feel he should.
There's one other slight way to get him back over the possible monster, is having him a tag team with Kane.
At Mark the Fish. Moving on from that swiftly. What are your top 5 entrances of all time? Top 5 entrances. I must admit, I always loved the Rock's entrance. It was very basic, but the music and it all just fitted the character so well. Austin's was pretty good with the breaking glass.
Triple H, because he's not had to change anything about it. Kane's, the fiery effect, suits his character.
Is always going to go down as one of the most memorable, isn't it?
Bray Wyatt, in a way, because the way he comes out, does the same thing, comes down to the ring. But going back, NWO, I thought I know it's basic, but that was quite nice.
Back in the day, the whole black and white thing was actually quite innovative in the way they slowed it down and stuff.
Ultimate Warrior, I thought that was quite good. Good thing.
There's plenty there. There's loads. I mean, when I first saw Adam Rose's entrance, I was amazed. When I first saw Tyler Breeze's entrance, I was amazed. This is all NXT stuff. 2016 Hall of Fame list. Who can we think of? We could have Owen Hart, Randy Savage,
Raw.
We could have The Rock in there. That would help. Undertaker in there.
It's going to be time.
Yeah, that'll be his time.
Maybe Kane and Undertaker by that time.
I don't know whether Kane will probably still be with the company then. So we got 4 big names there, I think, that we can stick in there. Some controversial, some not. Who are your top 5 wrestlers who give the best promos, and who are your worst? I mean, top of all time. Rock's obviously number 1.
The guy that got me interesting, Triple H.
Triple H is one for you. Austin,
Vince
McMahon was always good with promos, just great at getting it. Austin was always good with promos. Hogan was always good with promos, but top 5 wrestlers are good. I mean, obviously CM Punk was obviously very good in his unique style with promos. As for the worst, though, I mean, I remember Ezekiel Jackson was terrible. back in this day. There's been so many. I mean, like Kofi Kingston is also terrible.
This is good. It's not in just WWE.
No.
Flipping bromance. For flip's sake, get them off my TV. They can't cut promo.
Bully Ray was a good promo.
Yes, that was brilliant.
Anyone like Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards who have boring ass vanilla voices, they're the worst promo cutters. Can't really think of any more. I mean, I really would rather focus on the best and the positive rather than the worst. Snog, Mary, avoid. Which of the current Diva roster? Snog. Well, I don't really know. I'll definitely avoid Rosa Mendes. Just no, thank you. I would marry. Well, AJ Lee's already married, so I can't really do that. I would marry Bailey from NXT. And I would snog Sasha Banks from NXT. She's pretty good looking, and she's the boss.
Avoid AJ because she's underage. Marry. Get into the Hart family. And
she's already married to Tyson.
And snog. The one that's chasing the Divas Championship, that AJ feud with Paige. Joking.
Do you know what, right? I think if this was a TNA Knockouts question, it would have been so much easier. There you go. Now she's not a TNA Knockout anymore, is she? She was on Vince Russo's podcast though, which was quite interesting. What's your most favourite old school entrance music, 80s to 90s, and what's your most favourite recent entrance music?
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody. Yeah,
that's good. That's I love the Image Outlaws entrance. That would be our 80s, 90s one. Most recent favourite entrance music, like for me, Adam Rose. I loved the Adam Rose entrance. I know you didn't, but when he first came on the scene in NXT, I fucking loved it.
Most recent Nexus, but go more recent than that. CM Punk.
Yeah, CM Punk. Well, I don't know if his entrance is that great, but in terms of how much it stood out. Oh, entrance music. Oh, of course, yeah, entrance music. Yeah, but I did like Adam Rose's entrance music. Oh. Anyway, Mr. Parkin. Who do you think will be the best transfer of the season? Shaw, Costa, Ferdinand, or Valencia for West Ham? I definitely think Costa. I think he's exactly the kind of striker who could get 30 goals a season for Chelsea, and is exactly what Chelsea need to really maintain a good position in the Premier League and possibly be champion. So I say, even for 32 million, Diego Costa will prove to be a very important part and buy for that Chelsea team who definitely needed him. NJ, I need my fix of sweets. What do you recommend?
Oh, gosh, there's a lot of American sweets that you can't go wrong with, you know. Like, there's paydays, there's cow tails, which I found quite good.
Can't go wrong with any sweets. I mean, they're sweets. That's why they're sweets.
Yeah, just American have sweet taste.
Fuck American sweets. Well, British sweets. Do you ever eat British sweets?
Occasionally.
You know, the ones we find here?
Occasionally.
Or do you import all your things?
I'm all about import.
Yeah, you're all about import. Just the way Britain is now is. We're all about importing and not making our own shit. There you go. Stuart Allison. Do you agree with the way CM Punk left the WWE, or do you think he should have just ran down his contract? I mean, in an ideal world, he should have ran down his contract and put over some people on his way out. But the guy was hurting. He had no motivation. So, you know, if that's the way he was, and, you know, we could see in the last couple of months that he was there, you could see he wasn't motivated. You could see he wasn't putting in his best work. You could see he just didn't care.
When it first happened, yes, I would be bad-mouthing CM Punk because of how sudden it happened. But here's an example of why I more agree with how he did it. For example, the wrestling company has gone downhill, and it's came to a point where instead of waiting to a certain pay-per-view to stop reviewing the WWE, he cuts loose as soon as possible because it benefits him. And what CM Punk's done is what's benefited him instead of what's benefiting really the WWE.
And also, he left at a time when pay-per-view payouts were going to be dramatically decreased by the WWE network. He probably knew that. He had enough money to really live his life, etc. And he didn't really feel like he needed the WWE anymore. Thank God he cut that promo and got that massive 3-year contract, eh? Tim Grace, do you think the WWE should make a Razor Ramon and Lita and Yokozuna DVD? Razor Ramon, definitely.
Lita, yes.
Lita, maybe put her in like a Best of Divas DVD. Yokozuna, not so much. But definitely, out of those three, Razor Ramon. definitely.
Amen.
DVD.
Amen.
You could even have a sort of rise and fall of Razor Ramon, like with with his demons and stuff like that. I'm just saying. Fall. And his and his recent getting sober and everything with DDP, that might make a nice little story or make a nice little thing on the WWE network, I think. Do you think the WWE should bring back the Undisputed Championship? Well, they got rid of the both belts now. They've only got one. So would you say that's the Undisputed? They haven't called it the Undisputed, but I don't know. I think WWE World Heavyweight Championship is fine, but the Undisputed Championship does sound a little bit better.
To be honest, I think the name they came up with this one, I think it's quite clever. It suited its purpose of keeping both championship names still within the company, and bring back the Undisputed. If they want to pay another thousands of dollars to do it, then okay.
Do you think the WWE should do a match between Big Show and Rusev? I see no reason why not. I mean, Mark Henry and Big Show are two people that Rusev could definitely have a good feud against. The reason why I'm all for this feud is because you've got Rusev, and he's kind of gone from feuding with lower card wrestlers, then with Swagger, who's a mid carder, and you're slowly building the strength of the level of opponent up for a Rusev until maybe John Cena at WrestleMania or something. So Big Show is a good person for that, maybe going into Royal Rumble or maybe even WrestleMania.
After he's faced Mark Henry, because Mark Henry's his first teasing opponent right now. Yep. I think, again, big guy versus big guy, you expect those matches to happen anyway. So I'll say yes for the sake of big guy versus big guy match.
Yep, I would say so. They're building up Rusev, quite well, aren't they? Just with, the consistently getting better feuds and stuff.
I think he's getting on TV, but I think the feud with Mark Henry is coming up nowhere.
Anyway, still a good feud. Adam Caheller. What do you think of the NXT crowd's reaction to Eva Marie? At first, I heard it was worse than Batista chants, but apparently there were murder her chants as well. Yeah, I saw that edition of NXT, and the crowd really didn't like Eva Marie, and I think it's mainly because the crowd just don't buy into her as a wrestler. And her performance against, I believe it was against Bayley, the performance wasn't really that great either, but Eva Marie, obviously WWE sees something in her, on Total Divas and something with regards to her appeal to casual audiences, which is why we're seeing her on NXT. It was pretty bad. I don't know if you saw it, but it was bad. But I'm not going to hark on it too much because I still think she may have cross appeal somewhere else.
Even months down the line, I'm still against her. Even though she's got one win over, I think it's AJ being roll up. I'm still against her.
Renegade Man 83. Who do you think out of the 5 will win the WWE Championship first? Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Cesaro, Wade Barrett, or Bray Wyatt? I would say out of those 5, because he has the Money in the Bank, Seth Rollins. But in terms of how much bearing they'll have on the company in the next 5 or so years, I would say Bray Wyatt. Right now, though, Seth Rollins would be the first, considering he has Money in the Bank. But with Brock Lesnar holding the belt now, he's not going to be able to cash it in until after WrestleMania, is he? Let's face it.
I think Seth Rollins is number 1. I wouldn't say Bray Wyatt's number 2. I think with Dean Ambrose being up there with the quality of Seth, because Bray, unless they think, we ran out of ideas for Bray, I know, let's make him win the Rumble and then win the championship. I'm sorry, Bray's not at a level where I think the WWE are going to suddenly think, let's put the championship on him.
6 months ago he would have been.
Back then.
Yeah, and then he feuded with Cena. There you go. That's all you need to fucking know. Is there a double standard with wrestling fans and in wrestling in general? Yeah, but I think it's more to do with the fact that wrestling fans just, when they get given an opportunity, when they could get what they want it to the point where they're going to be biased and they're not going to be objective in their in their opinions and reasoning for it, unfortunately.
At the end of the day, I think that it would be kind of surprising if the WWE ever did actually listen to what the fans are continuously wanting instead of what Vince feels would be the best idea. Because if the fans were getting what they want, they'll be more tuned into the show. They'll be changing the WWE. But obviously, I think fans could keep saying that they need to get what they want or deserve to get what they want.
That's been another Q&A with us, the British Fist.
Gotcha.
Thank you very much for watching, and we hope the answers to the questions that we given were good enough for you, and keep sending in your questions down in that comment section. The Q&As, like NJ has said many times, is one of the videos we enjoy doing most. Interacting with you guys is definitely an important part of our channel, which is why we continue to do them together on a weekly basis.
And now I'm just going to say this. As much as I've enjoyed this and wish we would go on much longer than what we have done, I'm going to say this. Even though I've not drank an energy drink for over a month now, who loves Monster? NJ loves Monster. Is it true? I do. Goodbye, YouTubers. Thank you very much for watching.